We're here at the Sea House in downtown Chicago, where Lucas Henning is our wine director. We're also here with Fred Scherrer, and he's going to be talking about some of his wines and some questions that are often asked from some of my students. Why does all red wine have to go through malolactic fermentation?
Actually, it doesn't have to. And a lot of the jug wines are probably not gone through malolactic fermentation. Most of the less filtered wines and less manipulated wines, just for pure stability reasons, need to go through that fermentation.
Is that a matter of acidity, or why wouldn't a jug wine have to go through malolactic fermentation?
Because it will probably be stabilized through filtration and possibly some chemical means to prevent the bugs from growing.
Okay.
Whereas most more naturally made wines are just allowed to come to equilibrium with their environment.
So with red wines, the malolactic fermentation usually happens naturally?
It often does. And in the case of Pinot Noir, it's almost impossible to prevent it.
And why is that?
Because it's such a fertile ground for it to grow in. It has a lot of nutrients that other varieties tend to have less of. By contrast, Chardonnay would be very low in nutrients, and it's sometimes nearly impossible to get it to go through malolactic fermentation.
Okay,
aside from just pH or alcohol reasons.
So it's rather than a question of style, sometimes it's a matter of how much nutrients are naturally in the grapes.
That's correct. Pinot Noir tends to be very full of nutrients. I remember Tchelistcheff, when I was at Fieldstone as a cellar rat in my earliest days, he was our consultant there, and he said the best way to get your malolactic culture going in the wineries for Cabernet production, for example, would have a small lot of Pinot Noir going because it was so easy to get going, and then you could start feeding it into an ocean of Cabernet.
Oh, okay. Are there any other grapes that are especially low in nutrients or especially high in nutrients?
I'm sure they all vary. What I've seen in the speed and ease of malolactic fermentation, and since I tend not to inoculate for malolactic in my reds, it has more to do with pH and alcohol, just an inhibitory environment. But I can only speak to really Pinot Noir as far as the amount of nutrients. It also goes for yeast nutrition as well.